One of the towers has collapsed. I repeat, one of the towers has collapsed.
He's running on his 9/11 leadership, and there was lacking and there was none.
Whenever I hear him talk, I want to scream out to the world and say, God, he's so full of it.
Because the buck stops at the mayor's office.
It goes up to the top. You know, who's in charge here?
Mr. Giuliani.
They attacked us in '93.
And yet 8.5 years later, New York City Firefighters, the greatest fire department in the world, we're using the same radios that we knew didn't work.
We have remains of dead heroes out at the garbage dump because of Giuliani and his administration. And they're still there today, and they won't remove them.
And this guy had politics and his image much more important than the needs of firefighters and their families.
I'm a conservative. I'm a member of the NRA. I voted for Giuliani. But in this instance, he messed up.
It's about learning who the person running for president is. Don't just go by the image you saw on television.
It's not the moral, ethical, or honest person that I feel should be the president of the United States in 2008.
This image of Rudy Giuliani as America's mayor is a myth.
Rudy Giuliani's urban legend begins on February 26, 1993, when al-Qaeda terrorists bombed the World Trade Center.
It looked like a scene from a Hollywood movie, but it was real.
Move back, sir. Over here.
I tried to get on radio to transmit to the chief. This is very important stuff. I couldn't get out. I'm calling anybody that could hear me. Nobody responded.
A 1994 report confirmed the radios didn't work, and Mayor Giuliani knew it. Yet Rudy and his hand-picked fire commissioner took 7 long years to replace the defective radios with new defective radios.
This was the first time that I used the new radios that we were issued, and it was at a working fire. At some point in the fire, the second due engine company, who was engine 305, a member on that line was separated from his line, and he transmitted a Mayday message for a member lost.
You know, a guy in a cellar of a private house, and he's calling for help, or giving a mayday, and the units that are in the immediate area don't hear him, but yet units that are 2 miles away hear him. Something definitely wrong with that.
Rudy's radios were pulled from service within a week. The city comptroller found that proper testing procedures were never followed, and that competitive bidding standards were circumvented with a no-bid contract.
He ordered them bogusly. It's supposed to go out to bid. They're supposed to be tested by the field units, and then they're supposed to give him their input into it. And if they think the radio is good, they would buy it. He didn't do that.
You'd have to see how it works in a high-rise, how it works in a tenement, how it works in a cellar, sub-cellar, in tunnels. It would be tested in all these various areas. My estimation, what happened in 2000, 2001, none of that went on.
At 9:32 a.m. on September 11th, Chief Callan ordered all FDNY members in the North Tower to the lobby. He repeated the command, but not a single company answered. At 9:59, the South Tower collapsed. FDNY's Chief Pfeiffer then repeated the order for all units to evacuate the North Tower. Firefighters had 56 minutes after the first call and 29 minutes after the second order to get out. While all police officers left the building, 121 firefighters never made it out.
That day, my son was working, and they didn't hear the call. 121 guys didn't hear the call in the North Tower to get out. And the police officers heard it because their radios worked, and ours didn't.
The South Tower came down in less than an hour, and that was the point when the fire department had to say, hey, it's time to get out. They had 29 more minutes to get out of the North Tower. We lost those people for what reason? Because of lack of communication. Not a single cop was lost in that building. Why was that? Because they had gotten the word to get out. Our radios weren't working.
Virtually, the whole thing goes back to him with the radios. He's the guy on the top, and he's the guy you yell at. He takes the hit. And my son is dead because of it.
That's what firefighters should remember about Rudy Giuliani. He gave us nothing when we needed a life-saving radio.